Breathe. Okay.
I'm out of breath because I'm here with the amazing Ruth Carter. And you've been behind so many great projects where you could just see your work coming off the screen, whether it's Selma or Amistad or Malcolm X. It's like you've been such a great person to represent, fashion design and costume design, and you inspired a whole generation of people to know that they could do what you do on film if they work hard. So how does that feel first to have people that may not have, gravitated towards this profession see what you do and say, hey, I want to be like Ruth Carter?
Yes, it feels like a great honor to be a costume designer that is representing a genre or a film industry that people want to aspire to be like. Feels great. What it also says to me is that, I have to create avenues for them because, the film industry is kind of closed off and it's hard to break in, You have to be in the union to work on it, and you have to do 30 days at a union place to get in, and it's really hard. It's like such a hard kind of web to get in, and I still don't see a lot of people that look like me in costume design, and so it just tells me that you fought hard, you fought the long fight. Now it's time to open the door and get some more people like you in here.
Yeah, and what do you do to reach back and provide those opportunities for other people? Like, what's the best way to help people out now that you're in your position?
I think that I always take an intern. I always take on an intern. I'm always thinking about training people because I'm always looking for people that know the experience or that know the culture.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes I have to train that, and sometimes some people come to the table just kind of knowing it. And it's not to say that there's anything like mysterious, but when you say to somebody, he's got to look like Uncle Bobby, I kind of want somebody who knows what Uncle Bobby looks like.
Yeah, yeah.
They may have their own version, and I might have a different version, but it's still that uncle that we know. And that's kind of like the special part of it, that who knew that there'd be a profession where you could dress, the wino that sat under the street light in front of your house when you were growing up, Who knew there would be a profession that spoke to that kind of artistry, that would say it's art to be able to dress a person normally.
Right.
So
you've you've done several projects, but I know in Amistad you're pulling from the African content of an enslaved people, and in this movie in Black Panther, the outfits are of a kingdom of people
royalty.
that have royalty. So was there any semblance between those two projects, or was it just like a fresh, clean slate for each project?
It's a fresh, clean slate for each project. Amistad started at one point in West Africa. The Black Panther closed the gap.
Yeah.
So here we are. Now we know where those slaves came from.
Yeah.
They came from Wakanda.
Yeah. And did you have to travel to different parts of Africa to pick up on some of the...
I traveled through Africa through history books and research because, we're all modern, there's nobody here in America walking around with chains from slavery and wagon train. So I wouldn't expect that anybody in Africa would come here to see that. And I didn't expect to go to Africa to see original indigenous tribes. So it was not necessary for me to travel there. I had a plethora of history books and photographs with which to draw from, because we were inspired by the ancient tribes of Africa. Now, I did go to Africa after studying so much for the Black Panther and to create Wakanda. When it was time for me to choose where I was going to take a vacation, I was like, I'm going to Africa. Yeah. And it was a wonderful trip. because, you know, being on the continent, and I'd been there before with Malcolm X, you know, we shot at the end of Malcolm X, you see Nelson Mandela, and I'd been to Egypt. But it was wonderful to sort of understand that what you had created was going to be important for them too, because we've all gotten away from our ancestry.
Yeah.
We've all separated from it. Difference is Africans know from where they're from. African Americans do not.
Right.
So the Black Panther gave us a context, and it honored our history. And that I could tell was going to be very important for everybody.
Well, great job as always. Your art is always great, and I hope that it gets recognized even along this year as stuff goes on, because I think it's very deserving.
Thank you so much.
Cutting camera.